Operation American Spring began on May 16, 2014. It's important to note that this was one of the most successful moves towards passive revolution seen since the colonial era. Consisting within the movement are millions of dedicated patriots from across the country, led by multiple retired and current military officials. The goals of American Spring were clear: field an army of peaceful volunteers to occupy Washington until the establishment of both parties resigned. Unfortunately, due to the economic bonds of slavery our country endures as compared to others, the millions they had hoped to field were unintentionally held by the monetary coercion that prevents so many from actively participating in mass protests. In place of the intended millions, DC was occupied by thousands. Up until May 16th, there was little mainstream coverage of the impending event, despite numerous grassroots efforts from our movement and others. Both liberal and conservative media remained silent and oblivious to the cause. Or so we thought. On Friday, May 16th, federal outlets like MSNBC and CNN scrambled to publish pre-written stories and biases aimed at undermining American Spring's initiative. Media outlets from across the spectrum ostracized the event as a bitter failure. Even more alarming was the fact that many conservative media hosts, including Glenn Beck, contributed to this dialogue, calling those who participated dangerous and further discouraging his viewers from following such movements.
Yesterday, when we talked about this, that today is the American Spring Day, which I think is one of the most irresponsible and dangerous things I have possibly ever heard.
No, wait. Isn't this the guy that claims our government has entrenched itself in socialism and the only way to actively change our course is to openly stand against it? I guess he changed his mind, huh? The same people who inspired millions to action are the same people who encouraged inaction the moment it occurs. Perhaps the worst part of all? You believe them. While the federal government uses authority to publicize failure, thousands marched on DC with millions racing to spread the word across social media outlets. These people didn't march for Fox News or Rush Limbaugh. These Americans marched for principle, something so easily abandoned by the vocal majority. Unofficial reports show that those who stood against federal powers in DC were not alone. Leaders of American Spring were seen with numerous congressional officials who shared the same goal. Included in those reports were witness accounts of Washington police vowing to join the protesters should they be ordered to fire on American citizens, as well as numerous local donations and support for those participating. From these events, we clearly see that federal authorities are running out of options. We've learned that mainstream conservative media is just another pawn in their pocket to stabilize the population, making us fight each other instead of the real enemy. What's the saying? A spark is good as long as it's contained. Conservative outlets have spent many years containing that spark, holding us to believe that someone is out there listening. Someone who understands our fight, our fears, and our grievances. While other sources have Americans convinced that spark is dwindling, actual events prove it's spreading beyond their control. Every day that sees its end, Americans are realizing that fighting each other only contributes to the problem. Nations bend to the will of the people, and a united nation is far stronger than one that is divided. Those who spread division and force us to choose sides work only to consolidate more federal power in our division. They work to manipulate our political structures to keep us contained in submission. The truth is simple. Both mainstream conservative and liberal organizations lie under the same shadow of an oppressive government. Don't you believe them? This is the Firestorm Movement. To learn more, please click subscribe today.